SIRTOBAmedia, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. Trust I'm coming up for that top spot, coming up for that throne. Trust I'm coming up for that drop top, cool sitting on.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Grind. I am your host, Korrey, and we are here to talk about all things WWE. You can catch The Grind every single Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern right here on SIRTOBAmedia, SIRTOBA. SIRTOBAmedia, where the struggle is real to be awesome every single day. You can catch The Grind here, 4 p.m. every single Saturday. And you can catch The Grind on many different social media platforms. Those platforms will be available for you to see at the end of today's episode. Now, let's get into what we got for today.
If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again.
It's been an interesting week in things that's been going on around WWE. So I'm just going to talk around the topics that interest me the most, because I do not believe in wasting your time. I don't. It's been interesting. It's been some news floating around about TKO possibly selling WWE after they just acquired them. I think that's fake news, y'all. Fake news. So, it was floating around, and some, content creators was talking about it. Some people online were talking about it. I don't see it happening anytime soon. WWE has had record profits being under TKO, of course, because of their greed, as I've said before. So I don't see them letting go WWE too soon, or anytime soon, excuse me. Just like a person that commented last week, shout out to Sick Diggy for joining in last week's episode. But as he said, the business model between WWE and UFC are way too similar. They're similar. So there is no way, like, they have the formula already. Why would they let something go that's a cash cow for them? Doesn't make sense. So we can put that story to bed. WWE ain't getting sold no time soon. Now, what we did here on the flip side of it is that guy that used to run WWE, I refused to say, even though he was a very, very integral part into what WWE has become. It's kind of hard for me to align with someone who's done some of the stuff that he's done. And I'm not here to judge anybody, because we've all fallen short of the grace that we've been given in life. So apparently that man has been very, very mentally unstable for a long time. And, I just honestly pray that everybody gets what they need throughout this situation, because it's sad for everyone involved. But with that being said, that guy is trying to get his hands on something. I think it was bare knuckle fighting that he was trying to purchase next, and was unsuccessful in that. So he's trying to get back into some sort of promoter role. I just think, like, at this point in his life, he's close to 80, if I remember correctly. Like, just enjoy your life, brother. You got a bunch of money. You've done great. You have a legacy that cannot be denied. There's no question, no matter how we feel. Just like, the Hulk Hogans of the world. Like, I am not a Hulk Hogan fan at all. I'm not a fan of Terry. Let me put it that way. I'm not a fan of Terry, and I'm not a fan of some of the stories I've heard about him abusing his power to creatively get what he wants throughout situations instead of pushing people forward. But there is no denying the impact that he has had on wrestling, and wrestling would not be where it is today with pop culture and in the mainstream environment of things if he never was there. So I give Hulk Hogan all the credit in the world, just like that other gentleman, VKM. He was an integral part in making sure WWE and wrestling in general is what it is today. He did something that nobody else was willing to do, which was to step on other people's territory. And honestly, when you in business, like, it's cutthroat. You got to get what you want. You got to do what you got to do. And that's why they are the biggest wrestling company in the world, continue to be the biggest wrestling company in the world. And, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of situations that is unfortunate, Liv Morgan, unfortunately, this past Monday on Raw, suffered a separated shoulder, and like, it is super unfortunate, the timing of it, because it's looking like, according to some reports that is available online, that she may be headed into surgery. And it sucks for her because Liv Morgan, since she's been back on her Liv Morgan Revenge tour, has been, I mean, must see almost every single week. Great matches, great promos, great storytelling. Sometimes it goes a little overboard, the storytelling piece of it, but like, she's been amazing. And I need finally a catalyst in that women's division for the last, couple of years or so. So, it's unfortunate that she got hurt, and they're getting ready to go on to the Evolution PLE in the next month, actually early next month. It's coming up, and she more than likely won't be a part of it, which sucks, because we all love Liv Morgan around here, man. Somebody that was slept on, somebody that was given up on, and look at where she's at now. One of the faces of the division. You cannot mention the women's division without mentioning Liv Morgan. And Nikki Bella, you got what you deserve. Show her some respect. But speedy recovery to Liv Morgan. My prayers go out to her. Hopefully it's not 3 months. She can do her thing, come on back, get some super serum or something, and come on back, Liv. We gonna miss you. And I'm sorry that you gotta miss what you gotta miss, but it is what it is, man. We're wishing you the best. But speaking of catalysts, this past Tuesday on NXT, Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May, finally showed up and graced us with her presence in said square circle of WWE. And I have to say, she didn't get death rebelled. Anything's possible! She didn't get death rebelled. Like, her music sounds amazing. Her entrance fits her and her character, which is the glamour. And I think that she is about to bring a different level of attention to this women's division. A little bit of provocativeness, a little bit of, off the cliff, off the riff type things that she's going to say that's probably going to catch some people off guard. But being the glamorous person that she is, I think she does nothing but add to that division. And it really speaks to the reasons why they went on ahead and moved up Stephanie and moved up Julia and moved up Roxanne. The plans was never to keep Julia and Stephanie on NXT long anyway. But it just fit right on in. And now you have that spotlight on Blake Monroe and some of the other younger women that is on that NXT roster. Hopefully this will help build some of the others to get into that main event scene, because I'm gonna be honest with you, JC, you cool. I got no problems with JC Jane. I don't, man. But she been on that joint forever. Let somebody else hold that title. No, only a couple weeks. That's all you need, love. That's all you need. Like, yo, that joint is kind of catchy, and then a little guitar. Like, I'm a sucker for a good drums and a guitar, and like Blake Monroe's theme hit, y'all. I don't care what y'all say. It hits. It fits her. But unfortunately, once she signed her contract, she was met by said JC Jane and Fatal Influence, Temu Toxic Attraction, Five and Below Toxic Attraction, Dollar Tree Toxic Attraction, eBay Toxic Attraction. Met her in the ring, and the NXT champion confronted her because of her words about this is her, by Blake saying that this is her women's division now. And she had an issue with that. And how Ava has been treating Blake Monroe versus her, but whatever. But anyways, they ended up getting into a fight, and Blake Monroe ended up through the table. This screams a match is going to happen eventually with Blake taking that title off of her. Hey, it won't take long for her to get the title. Similar to an Ethan Page kind of a situation. I think that's about to happen with Blake Monroe. So Blake Monroe has debuted on NXT, and unfortunately, she met the table. Hopefully, she can stand upon it one day with the title above her head. Randy Orton and Asuka moves on to the finals of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which will culminate in the finals matches taking place next Saturday at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Randy Orton defeating Sami Zayn and Asuka defeating Alexa Bliss. So now I believe the only matches that we have left is Cody versus Jay and Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. So I see this ending with Cody and Randy kind of giving this as a preview to the feud they may have down the road, Cody and Randy. And this other one is kind of tough. I can see Naomi costing Jade Cargill again. But I feel like it's gonna be Roxanne. Roxanne has had a great year. And I think she's going to prevail over Jade and move on into the finals against Asuka. Now, the predictions for those two matches, you'll see it next week on the Night of Champions preview show. But it's very interesting how this aligns with Cody versus Randy because it's kind of a preview. Was this be the fire starter to their feud? Or, could this just be, a friendly bout, over the title? I mean, who knows? Like, we've seen friends turn to bitter rivals, bitter enemies over said championship over here. And Asuka versus Roxanne. I think this is going to be a humongous moment for Roxanne going against Asuka. And who wins that match? I mean, I don't know right now, but you'll know next week. So Asuka and Randy moves on. And speaking of Mr. Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came to Jey Uso's aid after Seth Rollins and his goons, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, were beating the dog crap out of Jey Uso after Jey Uso won the Fatal 4-Way match to get into the next round of the King of the Ring tournament. Seth Rollins came out. They was beating Jey Uso down. Cody comes out to Seth, and they just go face to face, but they do not lay hands on each other. And it's a very awkward moment because, Seth has gone off the rails in his quest to become champion again, to be in control. And Cody is kind of looking at him like, you helped me a couple years ago, but what happened to you? What happened? I don't know. This is very interesting. Is this something to come? I mean, it could happen. Is Seth Rollins playing the role as the tribal chief, quote unquote? Now he has his own little bloodline. I don't know technically it wouldn't be a bloodline, would it? I don't know. Maybe co-workers group or something, group chat, something like that. But they came face to face. And, WWE likes to plant seeds. So, them coming face to face could mean something in the future. So let's keep an eye on that. After their return just a couple of weeks ago, the WyattSicks has ran roughshod through the SmackDown Tag Team division and have earned themselves a tag team title match against the Street Profits next week. I get it. I'm not upset at it. I actually like the Wyatts because I'm a huge fan of Bray, of course. But in the same token, I don't see them winning the titles next week. I don't see them winning the titles next week. I got a weird feeling that some involvement with other tag teams is going to, cause them to lose. And, it's probably going to set the Wyatts off. And I hope so, because they need to be more sick. That's the whole point of the WyattSicks. I don't know if I could have pronounced that any better. Shout out to me. But that's the whole point of the WyattSicks. They had such a great debut last year in June 17th, June 18th, something like that of last year, where they massacred everyone. And I think lately it's just been kind of, I know it's more towards the wrestling, and I'm with it. I'm with it. We're here. We're here. But I think the WyattSicks can be more sinister, and they need to be more sinister. Going after tag team goal is more realistic versus just, this is our mission and we're going to attack this person because they betrayed their families. Nah, man, everybody there to win. Everybody there to be relevant. Everybody is there to leave a legacy. And I think that's cool to do. But I really, really like the Street Profits, man. I really, really like the Street Profits, and I feel as if like their reign needs to keep going longer. So wyattssicks, Street Profits next week, WWE Tag Team Championships. Let's see what happens, but I don't think it's going to end in a definitive decision. Now, so something that I don't want to talk about is we are getting Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax again for the WWE Women's Championship in a last woman standing match. Why can't we move on? Like, there's no story here, okay? They're done. Finito. Last time they fought, Tiffany busted that head open. Like, and it was a great match. Why don't we know how to put a period on something and move on? I don't understand it. For the life of me, I do not understand it. Like, let's be done with this. Let's move on. There are other women in the locker room that you could tell a story with. Let's talk about a storyline between Alexa and Charlotte. Are they going to become a tag team? Who knows? The Dark Queen. I mean, who knows, man? Like, but that is a story that's being told. You know, Alexa says she wanted a friend. Charlotte has been dissing her, and then Charlotte started to get beat up by Chelsea in the Hervis in the match last night. Alexa comes out and helps her, even though she lost her Queen in the Ring opportunity. So like, I just don't like. We again, I keep saying it, bro. Like, storytelling is missing. Like, it's just like lazily put together, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. Like, we need to make sure that we do something that is substantial, that feels good, you know. So like this does nothing for me. I'll be honest with you. Probably when it comes on, I'm going to tune out because I'm tired of seeing it. Unless it's got something to do with Naomi, which Nia Jax stopped Naomi from cashing in her Money in the Bank a few times last night. Naomi's going to become champion sooner than later, and I can't wait to see it. I hope she gets her own. Man, they need to change her briefcase and get her a caution briefcase. That'd be fire. Speaking of fire, you know, Mr. All Gas, No Brakes with it. You know, Jacob and Solo Sikoa faced each other one-on-one, and you know, the conversation went left. Jacob pointed out all the facts of Solo, you know, being jealous of him winning the title. And, you know, I mean, Solo came up short. Every single time he went for a championship, he came up short. Jacob got it done. So there's jealousy there. And I mean, honestly, it's probably been jealousy with Solo ever since Solo brought Jacob in, because Jacob has stood out from day one, doing something that Solo has always wanted to do, but hasn't been able to accomplish. So we're going to get the Battle of the Samoans, a family fight once again. This bloodline story continues on. And now Jacob Fatu is going to go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa, putting his United States Championship on the line at Night of Champions. So, I mean, let's see what happens with this match. It should be fun. Should be a barn burner. Solo has been one of my favorites lately, like laughing, emoting on people and stuff. He's been hilarious, you know, but I remember he used to be that street champion, that street fighter, that right hand guy or that left hand guy or whatever he was, the enforcer. You know, like I don't know what they're doing with Solo, but I love how they're going with this now. So let's see how this match unfolds. Speaking of unfolding, I bet CM Punk wish he didn't get folded into a Slim Jim table last night. Yes, there was a table with a Slim Jim emblem on it. Isn't that wonderful advertising? But anyways, so Ron Killings comes out earlier in the night, attacks one of the Yes Boys. Before I can't remember who it was. It's Kip and somebody else. I can't remember. But anyways, attacked one of those guys, and before his match with Aleister Black, and you know, it became a contentious situation. But he ended up having a match with John Cena in the main event scene later on in the night. John walks out on the match because Truth is beating the dog shit out of him, and then he sneaks Truth with the WWE Championship disqualification. He goes in the ring. They're going in the ring. They're fighting, and CM Punk eventually comes out. John gets the best of CM Punk, puts CM Punk through a table, and then prepares to sit himself on the rope and gives us the best 6 minutes and 10 seconds of promo work of work of this heel John Cena since it was introduced back in January. 6 minutes and 10 seconds of absolute gold from John Cena. He reverse psychology, did the pipe bomb all over again, shouting out names like Claudio and Matt Cardona and Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. Like, it is so apropos that he hits the reverse button on this and gives Punk what Punk gave him, 14, 15 years ago. This match intrigues me because of the history behind it, because of the people involved. The John Cena matches, as far as I'm concerned, it's been okay. I'm not gonna say they've been great. I don't feel like they've been great. It's just more of a nostalgic thing at this point. But I feel like those two can and will put on a barn burner next week between Punk and Cena for that WWE Undisputed Championship in Saudi. And I believe it's going to be a similar situation to what Punk did in Money in the Bank. I don't quote me on it, but I think it's going to be very similar to how this match is decided. But 6 minutes and 10 seconds of absolute gold from John Cena, absolutely scolding CM Punk. And I think that this is what we need from this John Cena. Now you got my interest going up a little bit, John. And let's see where we keep going with this. It needs to be impactful. It needs to feel as if like he is really on the wrestling world. And I think this was masterfully planned. This is one of the great times that I'm gonna say storytelling was great. And the camera angles, man, I mean, everything about it was great. So go on to YouTube, go on to X if you have an X account. You can see the full 6 minutes and 10 seconds of John Cena absolutely just carrying CM Punk and that pipe bomb, breaking the fourth wall per se. So John Cena starting to light a fire. All right, let's see if we can keep this heat going even through and after this match with Punk. All right, y'all, and there we have it. That's everything that's on my mind for this week. Everything that I felt that was super important from this week. Comment down below. What do you all think was a standout thing from this week? What do you all think is something that really interests you this week that make you feel like, oh, okay, I need to tune into this? Or it's all the way over there. I'm not going to go get it. But you can name out the thing that was trash. Absolute, no, throw it in there. Get in there. Get in there. Like, put it in the trash. It's not, nah, we don't need to do this. Let's move forward. I love to hear your opinions. Last week's episode was so fantastic with opinions. A lot of you have been sharing your opinions on TikTok as well, which I greatly appreciate. And I'm going to make sure I say something to you all to make sure you understand something, okay? I'm not a snowflake. I'm not a young buck. I am young, but I'm not a young buck. Know the difference. And a lot of the things that you say does not bother me. This is the internet, baby. I was here before it, you know, and it doesn't bother me. I've been through a lot worse growing up. And a lot of the things that people say behind random usernames and stuff like that, like, who cares? Like, let's have fun. The wrestling world is all about opinions. Share your opinions. We can share what we like and we don't like passionately without being disrespectful, without getting personal. So, you know, as much as I want your interaction, please be sure that we're respectful to one another. You know, it's okay to have passionate, spirited dialect and, you know, debates. It's okay because we all think differently. We all feel differently. We all view things differently. And it's fine. That, like, I welcome that here. That's what the grind is all about, right? Inclusion. We want everyone's thoughts here. So I appreciate you guys interacting with me. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Next week, we'll be on same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on SIRTOBAmedia, SIRTOBA, 4 p.m. Eastern, every single Saturday. Next week, we will have the Night of Champions prediction show and talk through a few of those matches that is on that card. But remember a few things. Stay true to what you do. Stay true to why you do. Always, always stay true to you. And always remember that with the grind, getting right is never done. So when you want to get somewhere in life, don't sit around waiting on it. Go get it. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Share your thoughts, share your opinions. I will be checking them out when I have a moment, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
I push that weight to get that goal, but I don't break 'cause I've been broke.